Buckle up, baby.
Punch time! No, wait, you know what? I can't forget. I promised Hannah that this would be her episode. It was supposed to be her episode to do the intro last time, but Hannah,
I wasn't ready
take
last
it away.
time.
You got this. You weren't ready, but you're ready this time. I believe in you.
All right. Punch it. I'm Hannah, and welcome to the That's Just Crait podcast, where we talk about everything Crait about Star Wars.
That was pretty good. That was actually amazing, Hannah. You did great.
I almost
Hannah
said
was
Lightspeed.
nervous about it before the podcast.
I just had to make sure that
Yeah, I
I
was
knew
about-
all the right things to say, because I fumble my
It's a
words.
lot of pressure, right?
It is.
Yeah.
You get used to it after a while, but believe me, sometimes I want to say punch it, I'm Jacob, and welcome to Lightspeed because I'm so used to doing like the videos, but it's like an adjustment like every single time, so I get it. But welcome back to another episode, everybody. It's great to have all of us back on the podcast again, and it's great knowing that we have listeners out there listening to the podcast again as well. Again, you can listen to us on YouTube, so if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. Or if you're listening to us on Spotify, also thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that we're already 6 episodes into this, guys. Like, it's kind of wild.
I know.
We've done the one thing that the Lightspeed cast couldn't do. Make
We
it
made
past
it.
5
We made it
episodes.
past 5.
We did it.
Yeah.
Isn't it something like if you do something 7 times, you've made it a habit?
I think so.
We're gonna
the
shoot
next
for
episode
7.
should be called
Once
The
we make it
Habit.
to 7,
Yeah.
then this is for real.
Then we got it. We got it.
We're in the big shots. We're in
Jacob,
the big leagues.
you
now.
mentioned you said that we have all of us here today. I think we're missing
don't think we
someone.
have all
Okay. We are missing someone. You know what? Actually, we've been missing Hunter for a little bit. I wonder what happened to him.
Oh well.
Well, I guess we'll
Yeah.
never know. Anyway. Well, thank you so much again for everybody listening. And I'm glad that we've made it to episode 6. Hopefully next time around Hunter will be able to make it, but you know, who knows where he's gone off to. That all being said, we actually have a lot to talk about this week.
Very
busy week in Star
lot,
Wars.
because Star
So much
Wars
has
decided to
happened.
drop everything this week. And this week is going to be a great week of friendship. And
Yes, we've learned our
like,
lessons. We
good-
got all out.
we have. We had like a therapy session in the last episode, you know? There was a little bit of bloodshed, but you know what? We've made up. We're good. We're all good. Actually, there was no bloodshed. That's all a bit, obviously. But if you missed our episode from last week, it was talking about hot takes with
was a
Star
lot of
Wars. And believe
It was
me,
fun.
those takes were as spicy as Mustafar, but it was very fun. I'm with you guys there. That all being said, Logan, I'm going to let you kick off this segment because I feel like you are always the best person to kick off this segment.
Oh, thank you.
So, Logan, what have you been engaging with Star Wars this week?
Okay, so we're recording this like 2 days after, 3 days after like the last one went up. I finally
Yeah.
got around to watching more of the Bad Batch. I thought that I was further in. Turns out I was not even done with episode 2 yet. And I pushed all the way to the end of episode 6, which is pretty good, like considering that I watched all those today. I wrote some notes actually because I wanted to talk about things that I thought were interesting that I knew I was going to forget about. So currently at the moment, the Bad Batch is just doing like the missions for Sid. There's like that one with like the racing with like tech and all that stuff, if you guys remember.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
But
one.
there was a really, really good episode. I think it was season 2, episode 3, where we got to see Crosshair and Cody work together for the first time
yes.
since the Clone Wars.
I love
And
that episode.
that was such a good episode. It was
It's
a
a
lot
good
of
one.
fun. There was a moment in there that I wanted to talk about, which is where Crosshair takes out the tank by firing straight into the barrel.
Oh, yes.
I thought that was a really cool scene.
Oh, yeah, that's a really cool.
I also wrote down here the, like, I guess antagonist of that episode being Tawny Ames, I think was her name. She was the governor of that planet that they were on, and it used to be like a separatist planet. And basically,
Oh.
the whole thing was that episode they were, the Empire was trying to like, you know, occupy that planet, and like they weren't going peacefully or whatever. We got a Mina Bonteri
yes.
name call out, which I thought was really, really fun. If you remember, she's the one that worked with Padme and basically tried to bring out peace negotiations between the Republic and the Separatists, and obviously that didn't work out as planned. So I thought it was really cool to see her mentioned, and I have that written down. Cody is back, and I thought that he was really cool. He was only in there for that one episode, and I think that's the only episode that he's in for the rest of the series. And I don't think that we know where he is now.
Yeah, that was a really big question on Clone Twitter.
Yeah.
During that season of the Bad Batch, they were like, "Are we going to see Cody again? What happened to Cody? Where is he? Is he okay?"
And I remember, there's a bit of discussion about whether or not he was CX2, because I remember that was a really big thing when season 3 was coming out. I never really agreed with it back then. But with the context of where I'm at now, which is the Clone Conspiracy episode where Senator Chuchi is talking with all the clones and stuff, you get to see, or one of the clones tells Chuchi that, like, if you speak out against, like, the Empire or whatever, like, you go missing, like, you're reassigned and all that stuff. I wonder if Cody actually did go AWOL because he truly believed that, like, the Empire was wrong. Or if someone found out about it, or if, like, you know, word got out and then somehow he, like, got reassigned. I'm doing air quotes right now. So it'd be interesting to see, like,
somehow, you say?
Yeah, Jacob, shut up.
So somehow Cody went AWOL.
I had this written down as well. Guys, do you remember me crashing out about AZ dying in the end of season 2?
Yeah,
I do.
I forgot that he's fine. Yeah. AZ's totally fine. I think I
didn't want to say anything in the moment because I was like, he'll get there.
Dude, I seriously forgot that AZ got repaired. I don't know why I was crashing out so hard about that.
Truth be told, unlike Hannah, I did not remember that either, Logan.
Like, he was just floating around.
I was about to be like, Logan, what are you talking about? He's fine. And then I was like, you know what? I should just give in to
it and
let it go on and
like
wait till you get there.
There's a solid 2 weeks where I thought this guy died.
Hannah said you're suffering, Logan.
Yeah, and you let me do it alone. I can't believe that.
Yep.
I also have that weird-ass laser giraffe. What was that about?
Did you say a swear word on the podcast,
My
Logan?
fault. Listen, if they could say it in Star Wars, they could say it in pod. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, did he?
That's true. I think that should be the rule.
Yeah, if they could say it in Star Wars, then we can say it. Yeah.
That, or we need to, like, start using in-universe swear words like Criff.
Yeah, this Criffin laser giraffe.
Carabat.
Do you guys remember that episode where they're, like, exploring the caves or whatever, and they put the core in, and it turns out to be this giant machine that, like, almost destroys the Marauder?
Oh, yes.
What was that about?
What was that about?
It was so strange and very bizarre.
I remember when they were entering the cave to find it, it made me think of the Jedi games.
I was literally going to talk about that. I think I was going to write it down that it's very Fallen Order coded. So I have that written down. That's really weird.
I think it was originally supposed to be in Fallen Order, but I might be misremembering something.
It was also very
I think it was supposed to be on Zepho.
Oh, wait.
It's very, very big.
Because I remember there's concept art.
There's some kind of statue or something in that episode that looks like a Zepho person.
God, we need Zepho.
Yeah.
I remember seeing.
I remember when this came out.
I think it was in Ahsoka.
It was a while back.
The planet where she found, like, the compass to Peridia and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember that people thought that there was, like, Zephonian, like, script in, like, the background, and I think that. Oh my god! I think that we need to get Zepho stuff into, like, mainline Star Wars. I think that it would be really cool.
100%.
100%.
A couple more things I have written here. Yeah, Senator Chuchi's back. She's great. Loved her. It's really cool again because I didn't really care for her when I was a kid watching the Clone Wars, but watching it now,
I always loved her.
Real. Honestly, at this point, I agree. Watching her now and with all the context of, like, what she did for, like, Pantora and all that stuff and how good of a senator she is, I think that she's amazing. Senator Pamlo and Bail Organa showed up. That was a really pleasant surprise.
Yes.
We'll get. I guess that kind of ties into, like, what we're going to talk about later. Senator Pamlo, famously the senator in Rogue One, when they're all in the council for, like, the rebellion, talking about whether or not they want to go to Scarif. And I think just really interesting, like, where I'm at right now, where they're trying to figure out, like, what to do with the clones. I guess, like, that's what I'm gonna bring it around to. I think that the politics of this and like what to do with like these veterans and stuff, and like the real world analogies that the Bad Batch poses, I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
absolutely. It's very overlooked, I
yeah.
feel like.
Mhm.
Underrated aspect of it, in my opinion. But I think it's going to be interesting because the whole question is, how are you going to like care for these troops that are now like they don't have any like more service left in them? Like, how are you going to like house them and like give them like payroll and stuff? And that's what Senator Chuchi's trying to do, while also paying for conscription troopers for the Empire. So that's something that Admiral Rampart's going to have to figure out, and I don't remember how that goes. So this will be pleasant checking in next week and seeing how that turns out. I just wanted to wrap it up real quick. Shout out to Nasir Dalal for voicing Admiral Rampart and Boda Kuna. I just had to give him a shout out real quick because he's an incredible voice actor and he plays both characters so well. And I'm so very excited to get to him in Jedi Survivor. But that was probably the most that I've talked without stuttering or saying like, because I've been re-listening to these episodes and I've been noticing how much I say
Logan.
like, and I have to say that I'm proud of
Great.
myself. And if I just slow it down a bit, I can do great things. That's it with
Yeah.
my check-in. Passing
Good
the
job.
mic to whoever wants to. Thank you. I think I did good.
Hannah, I will pass it to you because I know I also have a lot to say.
Okay.
So I'm going to pass it to you next.
Well, be the buffer because I don't really have a lot to say. Because I really haven't done anything since last time we recorded because I worked 2 barns over the weekend, so I literally had 0 time to do anything except take care of horses.
And this is
And I
also
would
the
like
quickest
to
turnaround of us
get back
recording
to
ever.
Outlaws.
I was about to ask you about that because I know that you were doing like a serious playthrough of that.
Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to do, I think I'm stalling out right now because I'm trying to like get the most out of the side quests before I finish the story, and I also kind of feel like I'm stalling out on finishing the story, which is very typical of me with video games. I did it with both of the Jedi games because I'm like, I don't want it to end. Because I'm
Yeah.
afraid also
Yeah.
that like once I finish the main story that I'm not really want to go back as much and play it. But
It is
I'm
one
gonna get back
honestly
to it.
that I really
wish-
like enjoying, like just
Yeah.
going through and like driving around, especially on like Tatooine.
Yeah.
Like driving around like the Dune
It's
Sea and like the
fun.
speeders is so nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun. And I honestly wish in hindsight that like I would have not just blown through the campaign missions and kind of taken some time to do some of the side quests and like
Yeah.
Sabak and stuff like that. Because I feel like if you do that and then you complete like the final mission, it makes the story way more fulfilling.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't expect it, but like there were things that I did, like side quests that I did after I beat the main campaign, and I was like, man, like I kind of wish I would have done that before I beat the campaign. But the way that my brain works, my brain is just like, oh, you have to complete the main thing now.
Well,
then you can
I
go back to like the
also-
smaller stuff.
Yeah.
I
It's
also like to
crazy.
do that because you can unlock more little like abilities and stuff and
Yeah.
make the most out of like your fight sequences or whatever. Or like there's a certain belt you can get that when you swap your blaster mode that it super cools it. So if I just swap it and then swap it right back, then I can keep
Have, like
shooting.
unlimited ammo. Yeah.
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 Are you at the? Have you learned anything new about? God, what's the crime syndicate's name that's chasing after Kay? What was it called again?
Oh,
Oh my God, I'm literally
I know what
blanking
you're
on
talking
it.
about.
Oh,
I'm blinking
Oh
too.
my God.
'Cause
Wow.
We're
it's only
all blanking. This is
it
embarrassing.
starts,
starts with a
like
Z.
yes, it starts with the Z.
Zarek Besh. Zarek Besh. Zarek
Yes.
Besh. Let's
That's
go.
the one.
Have you learned anything new about them? Because I know that there's like a really,
Uh,
depending on where you are in the game, like you learn a lot.
I feel like I'm close to the end because we have recruited her mom to the team.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you are.
Okay.
getting close to
Yeah,
the
you're
end.
getting close. I don't think you've hit that part yet, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Because I think it happens
It might be the
after
next
that,
thing I
right,
have
Jacob?
to do.
You would know what we're talking about if you.
I was
had
gonna
hit
say,
it, I
I'm
feel
like-
It has to
so
do
lost
with
right now.
like Jacob, like Hannah, cover your ears. It has to do with a event, right? Being an event. I think I remember.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Has anything happened with
Yeah.
event yet?
With a what?
Event, like an air vent.
An air vent?
Yes.
If she just recruited her mom, then I don't think that like.
Like I literally, the last
would've
mission I did
hit it
was
yet.
when we found that rebel base.
Oh.
Oh, then
Oh
no.
yeah, you're not there yet. Okay,
you're not
okay,
there
okay,
yet.
okay, okay. We won't say anything.
But you will get there.
You will get there, and you will tell
all
us
I will
when you
say
do.
is, you will lose your mind when it happens. But
When
we're
there's
not
a
gonna tell you what it
random-
is.
When there's an insanely like out of place jump in quality of the cutscenes, you'll know that you're there.
Yeah,
I'm scared now.
You should be.
you should be. To quote
Yeah.
Yoda.
Oh god.
Isn't it? You will be.
But I got you.
You
Yeah.
will-
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
You will be. Like the way he says it is
Yeah.
so.
I think-
My awful Yoda
So
impression.
ominous.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're taking your time with it, though. I feel like when I was playing it and I breezed through the story, the thing is when you're talking to like NPCs and stuff, they'll you'll like as Kay, she'll be talking about what happens as like
Yeah.
if her status is still that way before
Right.
the campaign ends. So I'm glad that you're doing it that way because I think like when I was playing it and I was talking to all these people and Kay was like, "Oh, I have this, this, this." I was like,
Yeah.
I don't anymore, but pop off. So I think it's a really fun like, immersion.
Yeah, it is fun. Well, and I
thingy.
did the same thing. I think I went slower when I played Jedi Survivor than when I played Fallen Order, just because Survivor was a little bit more
Survivor's such a
expansive.
big game.
But
It
I
is
did
a
the same thing.
really
Like
good game.
I took forever to finish that game because I wanted to get the most out of it.
I'm trying to. I'm so scared. I was talking to somebody about this because it was right when Andor came out. I will have to finish Bad Batch and play Jedi Survivor or Jedi Fallen Order, and then watch Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then watch Solo, and then play Jedi Survivor,
Oof.
and then watch Andor season 1, all before.
That is
Andor
so much
lot.
comes
pain
out.
all back to back.
But I think I can do it. But I'm excited for it.
You know what?
I believe
when
in
you
you,
get
Logan.
to
Before
Fallen
Order
Order,
with you.
let me know when you get to Fallen Order because maybe I'll try a playthrough also.
Yeah,
We
I don't
should
know if
all
I'm
play
gonna
it
do it on
together.
like. Part of me like wants to do it on Jedi Knight just to like feel something, but also I'm kind of like, should I just do story
No.
mode? And
Yeah,
then
just
No.
do like get through the story.
Paddle
yeah,
on.
yeah. Jacob, what about you? Where are you at in Star Wars? You said
So
you had a lot.
I have a lot, but I'm gonna condense it down so that I don't take up a lot of time because I know we have a lot to talk about. So I guess like the biggest, in terms of like watching, I guess the biggest thing that I have to say is my friend and I do a marathon every year for all
Oh,
the
yeah, I
Star
saw
Wars
that.
movies, and we started this year. It's our 10th year of doing it, but we started in like November. And we used to be able like years and years and years ago to just like finish all of them in like a week or like finish all of them and then go see like the newest one that was coming out, like Rogue One, The Last Jedi, Solo, or The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
But now that we're older, it's a little bit harder to do that between both of our schedules.
Life
Even though I see them quite frequently. So Philip, shout out to you. But we finally got to The Force Awakens and finally found time to watch it. And I have to say, that movie still holds up tremendously.
I love The Force
love
Awakens
The Force
so much.
Awakens.
Every
I
time
do
I
not
watch
get
it,
the hate for it at
it's so
all.
good.
That movie is just as magical as it is now as it was the first time that I watched it back in like
Yeah.
2015.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it shouldn't be
you
as
can
low on my
feel
list as
every
I put
moment.
it. Yeah, nothing will ever, because that was the first like real Star Wars movie that I saw in theaters.
Yeah,
At least
same.
like new Star Wars movie that I hadn't seen before, and it was seriously magical, and all the aura, like the vibes surrounding that time, like
Oh, it was so
2015,
good.
like it was so incredible. There was all like the new merch coming
the
out.
hype was unreal.
Do you guys remember when like
Yeah.
Star Wars merch was good? Like when there's
Yep.
actual toys and stuff. I had the
There
Lego
was
set
so
of the
much of it,
snow
too.
speeder. Do you guys remember like the first order snow speeder that wasn't in the movie? Like,
Oh,
like it was
yeah.
like one
the,
shot.
the delete. The
Yeah, it was in the deleted
scene.
scene. I had that. It was so cool. I was obsessed with the First Order. I thought they were so cool, and like the Force Awakens just has the vibes. In my opinion, it's a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas
I
movie.
agree.
Absolutely, it's a Christmas movie. I know it starts out on the
And the
desert and
fact-
stuff, but like Starkiller Base is so Christmas coded.
And the fact that we're probably going to get a re-release of it for its 10th anniversary.
Yeah, you got it.
That my Southern just came out.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The
Oh my
10th
God.
anniversary. That's insane. Sorry, I sound like the guy from The Last Jedi. Yep, they're the Shuttle Parkers.
Oh, you mean
Played by
Joseph
played
Gordon-Levitt?
by Gordon Levitt. Yeah.
Yeah.
His name is actually, fun fact, not to be that guy, but his name is Slow and Low because
Yes.
all of those species are named after Beastie Boys
Yeah.
songs and albums.
All
because
my
J.J. Abrams
homies
loves
know
them.
Elo
My
Asti.
goat.
Yeah.
Oh, Elo Asti, and then there's there's more of them.
Who's the one in The
There's
Last
more
Jedi
of
that's like
'em.
sitting next to Poe? I know he has one of them too. I forget. Not important.
I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, but The Force Awakens still holds up. I can't wait to see it, hopefully, in theaters again this December. Such a great movie, such a magical movie.
It'll
such
be,
a
I think,
special
my
movie.
third occasion seeing it in the theater. Because I think I saw like twice when it came out, and then I saw it at the marathon. And then I think this will be they can't not do it, right?
Oh,
They totally
got
got to do it.
I saw this movie, Logan, initially in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this movie 13 times in the theater.
Oh my God.
I
You
was
shill.
that locked into
You
the movie.
shill. You.
Hey, we don't throw the S word. I don't remember them using that one in Star Wars,
Yeah.
Logan.
Oh my God.
I remember
it's
them
okay.
using another S word in Andor.
Yes, I think I was like 12 when Force Awakens came out. If I had a job at that point and no like school, I think I would have seen it 15 times at least.
Dude, I was in high school. I was a senior. I went like every day after school for a bit. The most I've ever seen a movie, though, in theaters, and this is true, it would
More than
be
13?
Pirates of the... Oh, just wait. Just wait.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
I saw... It would have been Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, because my family and I were really big fans of that movie, and I somehow managed to see that movie 14 times in the theater. However, back in 2006, movie tickets were cheaper, so that's probably why.
that is
But-
really true. I think you got to take that into consideration.
But, not to get away from Star Wars, but to briefly get away from Star Wars, I saw The Dark Knight Rises, summer 2012, 17 times in the theater.
My
How
God.
do you
I'm
do
not
that?
even joking.
Insane.
God.
I was locked
I
in.
think-
Listen, freshman-year-old me really liked Batman, okay? Like, I was
Clearly.
Wow.
really into that one. It's not the best one of the trilogy. By far, it's the worst one, but I still really like it. So,
You know what was
whatever. But
did
anyway,
I tell you guys what my most watched movie was?
I don't know.
I think I saw
don't
it
know.
6 or 7 times. Like it
What was it?
was The Greatest Showman.
Why?
Really?
I thought this was a safe space. I love The Greatest Showman so much. I think it's such a fun little time. I don't know. I like it.
It was a fun movie.
One of them
I
was
just
a
was not
sing-along.
expecting you to say that.
Yeah, one of them was a sing along. I think the most I watched it consecutively was 3 times in one night. It was an all nighter I had to pull for school. That's another story for another time,
wow.
though.
Well,
quote
Lightspeed's
Maz
skipping our
Kanata.
way back to a galaxy far, far away. No, Force Awakens was great to rewatch. It was amazing to revisit. It's hard to believe that it's already turning 10.
I know.
But you know,
Oh my God.
what a special movie, and it was so much fun to revisit it. In terms of reading Star Wars, because I've been reading a lot of the canon books. That's like my goal for this year. I've read 2. So the first one that I read was called Mace Windu: The Glass Abyss, and it takes place directly after the events of The Phantom Menace, to where like the book starts at Qui-Gon's funeral.
Oh.
And Mace has left a message from Qui-Gon, and he's
Okay.
like, "Hey, I started this thing on this planet years ago, and Mace Windu, my friend, I feel like you would be the best person to continue this mission and to go back and help these people." So it takes a premise that would be otherwise pretty basic, because we've seen stories where Jedi have to go to like investigate something off the record of like the council, or without the blessing of the council. We've seen that a lot, but it kind of adds a layer to it of like, oh, Mace is kind of doing this out of obligation for Qui-Gon because, you know, his friend died and he's doing it as like a dying wish kind of thing. The book starts off incredibly strong, and the book ends incredibly strong. However, there are 250 pages in between the beginning and end of this book. And I will be honest, this is going to be a big day for the Jacob Likes Everything crowd. This is going to be a big shock. As much as I love the character of Mace Windu, and as much as I love Samuel L. Jackson, I have to say, I did not really care for this book. I really did not like it. It really was not for me.
Well,
So it has
Jacob
Return
of the
was
Jedi
in our
syndrome.
group chat.
Yeah.
Well, like, I think that, like, if you love the character of Mace Windu, I'm not saying that you shouldn't read the book. If you really love that character, like, if he's your favorite Jedi, I totally get it. And I still recommend that you read the book because you'll probably get more out of it than I did. The only problem is that the book's biggest strength is that it captures Mace's character really well at points. And it kind of makes him more empathetic at points, too. Which I thought was, like, really cool. Like, the book gives him a love interest, which is unexpected. And you wouldn't expect that for Mace.
This is canon?
And in some
Interesting.
instances, yes. And in some instances, it really works. And you're like, wow, like, this kind of adds a layer to Mace's character that I didn't expect. Adds to, like, things he does in, like, Attack of the Clones and the rest of the prequels. But in a lot of instances, I will be honest, I found it completely out of Mace Windu's character. Now, I know that a lot of people might disagree with me on that, but I also think that comes down to Stephen Barnes' writing style.
Has he done
And
any
the
other
way
Star
that
Wars
he
books?
writes his book, he has. He did a Legends book like 20 years ago. And apparently that Legends book got a very mixed to negative response.
Interesting.
So this is his first return to canon. And his first canon book has a very mixed response, it seems. Because I know a lot of my friends who are diehard Star Wars fans love the new canon, and they also are not really big on this book, even though that so many people were looking forward to it. Because, I mean, it's a story about Mace Windu. Come on. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, of course you want to, like, read that. But unfortunately, I just don't think that it stuck the landing. But again, if you really want a Mace Windu-centered story, I do recommend checking it out because you might get a lot more out of this than me, and maybe me talking about it with other people can change my mind on it. It's not the worst book ever by any means. I've read Star Wars books that I think are way worse than this one, in all
Yeah,
honesty.
like Light of the Jedi.
But it just wasn't my
That was
cup
a
of tea.
joke.
Hold on.
That was a joke. That was
Hold
a
on.
joke. That was a joke.
That's a one-way ticket off the podcast, buddy. Hold on.
Oh my god.
No, but I love the Light of the Jedi. God, that book is so good. But Mace Windu: The Glass Abyss was not for me, unfortunately. However, I followed this up with Queen's Peril by E.K. Johnston, and let me just say, oh my God, this book is fantastic. This book is amazing. Like, I had already heard really good things about this, like, Padme trilogy.
Yeah.
You know, and especially this technically book 2, but really book 1 because it's like a prequel to book 1, whatever. I have to say, I was really, really blown away with how much I love this book. It kind of deals with everything kind of leading into the events of the Phantom Menace. Like, the book begins whenever she becomes queen.
Oh.
And so all of the handmaidens are, like, you know, talking with Padme, and Amidala is almost like a figurehead in a way, and almost like her own character, to where Padme's like, if all of you guys are my decoys, and you're trying to be me, it's going to be weird to try to do an impression of me, and, like, people will find it easier to tell us apart. But if we all kind of speak in, like, a more monotone, serious voice and create this character, then it'll be harder for people to tell us apart. And I thought that was brilliant.
Wow.
I had never thought about that, and I was like, wow. So
Did
it
you
really
never know
dives
this?
into, like, Padme.
I didn't know that was like a... I mean, I knew that they, like, spoke differently. I didn't know that it was, like, a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that
see.
they
I
had
haven't even
spoken
read the
differently,
books, but I knew that for some reason.
Oh.
I had heard of it a long time ago, but I think that, like, you know how you hear something and, like, you kind of remember it, but then you read it and you experience it,
Maybe
and you're like,
it's 'cause,
oh,
like-
wait, like, hold on.
Back in the day, I used to like really deep dive into the lore about my favorite characters and stuff on Wikipedia.
As you should.
Yep.
As you
That was
should.
how I
As
found
you
out that one of my
But-
favorite High Republic
but-
characters died during
no.
what's it called? Yeah,
No
'cause
spoilers.
I was reading one of the books in Phase 1, and I was like, "Oh, this character's really cool." And so I looked her up, and then like the first thing is like born da da da, died da da da. I was like, "It's like that's what I get. That's what I get. You can't
You
look
gotta
at
watch
anything."
out for those Wikipedia
Yeah.
articles
You
sometimes.
really do.
They should like have a setting where you
But-
can like tweak that and like change that so you can't read the
Like a
death dates
spoiler-free
of anything.
setting.
Yeah, a spoiler-free setting. Yeah.
That would be cool. Well, I will say this, like, there comes a point, and this is going back to the book, but, like, there comes a point in the book, right, where, like, it overlaps with the Phantom Menace.
Oh, I love that.
And like,
I love overlapping stories.
it,
Shout out.
you don't expect it. Like when it happens, you're
well,
thinking,
now I'm
okay,
going to
this is, like,
expect
the third
it.
Well, like you think it's like the third act of the book, right? You think that's something that would happen at the end of the book, but and I don't feel like it's a spoiler to say this. It happens sooner than you think.
Jacob, I want to
right?
read this book. Why are you telling me about this?
I'm not going to say anything else. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm not going to say anything else. All I'm going to say is that I highly recommend this book if you're a fan of the prequels, especially Episode 1, if you're a fan of Padme as a character, and if you're interested in, like, Naboo culture and, like, the Queen and stuff like that. Like, this book is 100% for you. Even if, like, you're trying to be macho and you're like, oh, I'm not really interested in that. I'm telling you, you need to read this book.
Yes.
This book rocks. It is fantastic.
E.K. Johnson is a really great author. She also wrote the Ahsoka novel, and it's really good.
I'm really excited to read that one. I'm getting closer to it now on my canon read-through, so I'm excited.
Nice.
But speaking of the prequels, we got some really big news today.
Yes, we do.
Revenge of the Sith is coming back to theaters. We're so back. We're so back. Let's go.
And isn't it like the week that Andor comes out?
I think it is. Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Oh,
it's like April 25th or something like that.
We're gonna be slammed that week.
I'm gonna be so annoying to people. I'm gonna call out work so many times. I'm gonna request work so many times.
Right. I'm like, I'm gonna need
take off the week.
Yeah, I'm gonna need these days off, this day off, and then I need this day to recover from that.
Right.
I assume you guys have seen Revenge of the Sith in theaters, right?
That was the first Star Wars movie that I ever saw in a theater with my mom. Yeah.
Wow. Hannah, strap in. It is so fun.
I will. I'm so excited.
Oh, dude, like, I was gonna say real quick. Like,
yeah, go ahead.
I think that we're both kind of like geeking out over that experience because we've both had it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, like in 2005, there came a point where sorry, Hannah's mic like glitched out for a minute.
I was like, was that me?
It scared me. I was like, hold on. No, it's a battle droid trying to like chime into the conversation. No, but like I think that like man, like seeing that movie, I remember when Darth Vader's helmet comes on for the first time, you could have heard a pin drop. It was so quiet. Like that is everything.
That is one of my favorite moments in the entire saga.
Yes.
I
think with you. Yeah.
The and it's something that wasn't even in like I think they added it like in it, and I think this is probably like not even like very good trivia. Because if you watch the trailers, like when Vader's mask gets lowered on and he breathes, what they did in the final version was that they added a little bit of like fog that blows out when he breathes.
Yeah.
That little bit seals the deal for me as like one of like the coolest moments in Star Wars. And
so
doing this whole rewatch, getting to that point, everything building up to Vader's mask getting put on him is so satisfying.
It is.
And you feel trapped in there with him, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
God, I'm gonna crash out about Revenge of the Sith again.
Dude, I cannot wait to see the
beautiful movie.
Duel on Mustafar again.
I might have to see it
oh my gosh.
multiple times in theaters because I was.
It's there for a week. I'm going. I think I should go every single day.
Go every single day.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make that a goal. I'm gonna make that a goal to watch Revenge of the Sith every single time in theaters. Yeah.
That's so funny. I actually told my friend that exact same thing today. I was like, dude, I'm gonna go every day. I'm literally no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm seeing Revenge of the Sith every day in theaters. And they're releasing in 4DX too.
I just realized I have AMC A-list. I can't watch more than 3 movies a week. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to pay full price.
Financially support Revenge of the Sith.
You can do it.
Yeah, I've been called to do it. Yeah. Oh my gosh,
it is your destiny.
The Battle of Coruscant on the big screen.
Unreal.
Absolutely beautiful. Hannah,
the General
am so excited
duel?
for you.
Dude, I'm so excited too.
The thing is, like, when I watched it at the marathon, and I would just bring up the marathon any time that I can. When I watched it at the marathon, yapaholics, I swear to God, everybody was just like, it was the scene from Finding Nemo where everybody was just like, mine. It was just everybody saying the lines.
What I'm actually upset about
What's up?
is I'm so upset about this because y'all know it's my favorite movie. But when Return of the Jedi had their theatrical release, I was not able to see it because where I was living at the time, None of the theaters in my area had it. I would have had to
That's how it
drive
was for me
Wow.
too,
like
sadly.
2 hours to go see it. I was so mad.
I think that
If
was
my
the
theater
first
doesn't get
time.
Revenge of the Sith, that'll be a surprise.
Oh, we'll have it here.
I used to have a
hope so,
Regal
too.
pass, and Return of the Jedi was the first movie that I bought it with because I was like, I need to go see this, and I might as well do it. It was such an experience. It was a special edition though, so we got Jedi Rock, which
Okay.
was fun.
Nice. You mean the better edition?
Yeah, I think I watched it like 10 o'clock at night though, so I think I remember falling asleep around Endor on accident for like 10, like
Oh,
not even 10
no.
minutes, like 10 seconds, and I was like, whew.
Well, I'm excited.
Gosh,
I wish I could have
Star
seen
Wars
that
on the
in
big
theaters.
screen is literally just the way that it's supposed to go.
Obi-Wan is gonna hit so hard.
The March on the Jedi Temple is gonna be
Everything's
incredible.
gonna hit so
Everything.
hard.
I need to see this at like
Heartbreaking.
the biggest theater imaginable.
Yes.
Dude, I wish they were showing it in IMAX. I'm
I was gonna
surprised
say,
that
put
they
it in
haven't, like,
IMAX.
converted it.
If Hunter
Like,
was
how
here,
hard
he'd
does
be
it have to
screaming
be?
for IMAX right now?
I know, right? They should just vertically
Dude.
stretch it like in like
Right.
MS Paint, you know?
Ew.
Can we talk about that
Well-
poster though that they released for that? Because Matt
Well,
Ferguson,
Yes,
good.
Matt.
my
The
goat,
posters keep. They have not missed with
he
any of the
has no
anniversary
misses.
posters. Yeah.
And that means we're
The-
getting one for Force Awakens in December.
Please.
I have the
Let's go.
I have the 25th anniversary celebration of Phantom Menace poster, not in my room, it's in my sister's room because I don't have any room. It is huge and it is so beautiful. It's like all the gold parts are like
yeah.
gold flakes, so it's like really
Ooh.
like pretty and like embossed
It's
a little bit.
shiny.
His art is incredible. He does like even the stuff that isn't posters, his Star Wars art. I think he has one of, I think it's the shuttle that Luke, like the Imperial shuttle, when it's flying out of the Death Star. He has artwork of that.
Yeah.
I will find it. I'll send it to you guys. It is
I feel like
so
I've seen
beautiful. Man, good
I
art.
think I have two.
I need more
don't know.
posters. I have like a little wall in my room that I get from like screenings and stuff. I have like one for Skeleton Crew and then the Acolyte and then Outlaws because I think they gave that with
Oh,
the
yeah.
Acolyte. So I need
Nice.
to add Revenge of the Sith to that.
I've
I
been
need
slacking
an
with the posters
Acolyte
in this room.
poster.
Hee hee, I'm cooler than y'all.
I used to have posters like plastered all over all of my walls, but when I moved, I just haven't really decorated the
I
same
think I have a
caliber.
very dude room. It kind of makes me sad.
Well, Hannah, this is where the fun begins. This
Yes.
is where it's time
Yes,
to
it is.
put all the
Hannah-
posters on the wall.
Let's put the spotlight on her right now.
I'm trying.
Because, guys, we finally got the Andor Season 2 trailer.
We did.
I was about to say,
and
speaking of things that are cooler than us,
Wait.
Yeah.
the Andor trailer.
Logan literally manifested it.
Dude, I swear to God, I was sitting on the toilet when I tweeted that. I feel like that's a very good detail to mention. I was sitting there and I was like, dude, when is this trailer coming out? And I tweeted, I said, I'm literally going to start promoting Andor Season 2 myself. And then I quote tweeted it with like a poster and being like, oh, like, with like one of those like quotes that they would probably post with it.
Yeah.
The minute before I posted that, I didn't even realize they had dropped
It
the
was
poster
while
in
you
the
were
trailer.
writing the
It
tweet,
was while I was
probably.
writing the tweet because it was like I think it was like 9:01 a.m. that I posted it, and they like dropped it, and I was like, oh my God!
It was so
I literally
funny.
like manifested it. And I feel like everybody did because like I think I forgot what's his name on Twitter did, but it was like his birthday, and he was like, "Can you guys finally drop the trailer for my birthday?" And then Kat was doing her thing with like the Andor mask. Shout out Kat.
Love Cat.
It was a field day on
She's
Twitter. That was
Dude,
I was out of it for a bit.
I have missed
I've
out because
been-
I was working.
Yeah.
yes, I was gonna say I was literally doing stuff, and Hunter sends a
Hunter.
text to the group chat, and Hunter's like, "Yeah, I don't know who he is. It's almost like he's another co-host that's mysteriously gone missing.
Yeah.
It's probably not
Wonder
important.
what he's up to.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I wonder what he's up to. He's definitely probably not captured or anything. I don't know, but
Magically land far, far away.
imagine getting captured far, far away. That would be crazy.
Skill issue.
Anyway, no. But like I was doing stuff and Hunter sends a message and he's like, "It dropped." That's all he said in all caps.
That's
And I
all he
texted
said.
him separately and said, I literally texted him separately and I said, "The Andor season 2 trailer dropped, didn't it?" And he said, "Yep." And I said,
That's so funny.
Great. It happens at the most inconvenient time for me.
Right?
But you know, I'm
Oh
not
my
going to
God.
complain because Country Rock in the Andor trailer,
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Dude.
I think that's so cool. And I saw that somebody on Twitter was like, because like you know how the trailer has like a lot of like quotes from like season 1.
Yeah.
with like all the amazing reviews, which are completely valid in my opinion. I feel like
critically
in almost
warranted.
everybody's opinion. But like, someone said on Twitter like, "Oh, like it's really funny how they're promoting this one as it's the good one." No, they have all right to glaze.
Yeah, they have every single
like,
right to call it the good one. To be honest.
Yeah, like, and
Like,
that's not
all
even
you
like
want.
trying to disrespect like the other stuff, because like the other shows are great in their own respect, but like there's
Andor is
something
just
about
on
the show
another
that's
level.
so next level. Like it's so good.
Everything that
think
like
because it
surrounds.
hits home a little more.
Yeah, I mean,
I
obviously.
agree, especially now.
I think everything that surrounds like Zero BBY in Star Wars, like a New Hope era.
Yes.
Whenever they take that, whether it's Rogue One or if it's Andor or even like a bit of Rebels, whenever they take that and literally just ground us in it and make us feel like, oh yeah, this is a thing that's happening, it is some of the best Star Wars to ever like come out. And it's so interesting because Andor is such a different vibe compared to A New Hope. A New Hope is borderline a comedy, you know? And Andor is just I will
kinda, yeah.
I will glaze Andor till the day I die.
This era of Star Wars, like what do you want to call it? Like the birth of the rebellion.
Yeah.
It just gets you going.
It's
like,
where things get real.
So inspired, and it's I love it because even like the very last season of Star Wars Rebels. Oh my god.
When they're all in like Yavin 4 finally.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But
it is so fun.
I was gonna say Hannah took like 8 pages of notes.
I took
Hannah,
so I kind of want her to like lead the conversation.
We're gonna talk about this. So I went back and rewatched it when I had some time, and I took literal notes. I made bullet points and I wrote it down on my notes app.
Oh, pages worth.
I'm ready.
So I also wanted to start and preface with how this season of Andor is going to play out, because it's going to be a little bit different, because I think there were maybe talks of being more than 2 seasons at one point, but for what I'm assuming are budget reasons, this is the last one, and it's going to lead right into Rogue One, and they're going to release it as chapters. So there's going to be 4 chapters, and each chapter is going to be 3 episodes, and it's going to cover,
which is what they did with the first season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to cover like different areas leading up to Rogue One.
It's like between every 3 chapters is like a year, right?
I think so. When does season 1 start? Was it like?
I think that's so smart. Actually, that's so cool.
Yeah, this is going to be terrible to fit into my timeline.
A lot of time in a shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to recap how that's going to work. But I remember when I first watched it, my first thoughts were just like all of the cameos that we already got just in the trailer, like the Rogue One characters like Crait, K2SO, Saw Gerrera.
Krennic!
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
He's
I'm sorry. He's gonna be
mate.
so good. He's gonna
be
so
good. Talk to cops, have you, mate?
He just
Hello, Darth Vader.
Death Star, mate.
Sassy
talk to the cops,
and
have
like,
you, mate?
you know, he's.
I love how Hannah's trying to have a genuine like, conversation, and Logan and I are just over here. You want to build a Death Star, mate?
I haven't talked to the cops, have you, mate?
Building a Death Star, mate.
Oh, Darth Vader. You haven't talked to the Jedi, have you, mate?
But I'm wondering if we're seeing all these characters and stuff, and given what Krennic is working on during this time period, I wonder if we're also going to maybe see Galen Erso.
I have a strong feeling that we could.
That would be really cool. Even if...
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I mean, I would hope we
There's
like
a total
actually
non-zero
get to see
chance that we
him,
get Galen.
but it could be also, like, say they couldn't get him, like, a mention, or maybe they, like...
We're getting a
do
name
some
drop
kind
at
of
least.
voice thing, something. There has to be something.
Oh my god, what if we get him recording the... What if we get Galen recording the transmission?
Oh my god.
I hate that I'm getting into this mind space, because now I want Bodhi Rook in the series, and
yes,
like the thing's like there's a non-zero chance that we could get all this stuff, but I don't know if they're gonna do that for us. It wouldn't happen until at least like the last 3 episodes.
Right, and you saying
non-zero
chance. Me and Logan have also been manifesting Hera Syndulla cameo.
Hera
please.
Syndulla mention, because I think it'd be so funny though. I mentioned that Jacob, I don't know if you saw this. I said that Hera Syndulla popping up, if she was played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, her popping up would feel like your custom character in GTA 5 popping up at a cutscene, you know? Like, I feel like it'd be so like out of place just because like the vibes are so different between like Andor and like Ahsoka.
Oh,
It wouldn't be too out of place because remember in Rogue One there's that one like thing in the background on Yavin where it's like General Syndulla to the meeting room or something like that. And plus choppers and on Yavin by that point, so like she's got to be there, right? Like,
I hope. Like I hope that we see a lot more of
than
Yavin.
Like, yes.
But like
that was my
aside,
next bullet point.
Sorry, Queen. Pop off. I'm gonna mute myself.
Alright, we're getting really excited.
Yeah, Hannah, the floor is yours.
We're only on my second bullet point, but yes. Yavin 4 was my literal next one. I wrote Yavin 4 in all caps with like 5 exclamation points. And then I said, more Birth of the Rebellion content. Let's go Rebels era, like I just said. I'm like, this is peak Star Wars era for me. I'm also really excited to see more of Mon Mothma's story and what happens exactly that pushes her to the point that she's at when we see her like in A New Hope. Because all of that stuff that's happening in her own private life, and
there was
that's
that
got to
little
be her
bit...
daughter's wedding, right?
I don't know, but it looks
something.
really fun.
She
I want to be there.
Hard. I want to
An
party with Mon
arranged
Mothma.
wedding.
There's she's in
the dance floor.
She's in Rebels a little bit, and I think that's when we see her flee the Senate and then join the rebellion. See sort of
that's true
crossover of
so
that
maybe
moment.
I didn't
that
think
leads
about
up
that.
to that.
Because a lot of people mention, I think it's called like the Gorman Massacre. I don't know what it particularly is, but I know it's a very important part for the rebellion, and I think that might.
Yeah.
I could be mistaken, but I think that it might be what pushes Mon Mothma to join the rebellion or like organize them all. You know.
Yeah. Luthen.
Interesting.
What is bro cooking up this season?
Something.
Hopefully more awesome starfighters. That
hopefully another monologue.
Side of them.
Let's go.
Yes!
His monologue is going to go so hard. And then I also, this is farther down on my list, but the clip that we have of Saw Gerrera talking, his pep talk scene is going to go so hard. You already know.
Do you know like who you know who he's talking to, right?
I think so. Who?
I forgot what his name was, but he's the I'm like 90% sure that it's the kid that was wearing like basically like the Adidas hoodie the entirety of season 1, Ferrix. I think his like dad died. I am like 90% sure that that's him just because like his hair and stuff and like the side of his face. I think him losing his family and deciding to like take up arms against the Empire is such a really like good story to. It's a really good story to. Shut up. It's a really good story to
like Cassian
develop.
Andor parking his scooter.
Yes.
So I think his story is going to be really interesting to follow too, if he's in it.
Yes.
Which I assume that he is.
The other thing I'm really excited for is to see more of Bix and Cassian, because it looks like Bix is actually going to be on missions with Cassian, because in season 1, she stayed in the same place and Cassian had to go back to her and she didn't really do much till the end.
And she looked great doing it.
Yes, she did. And I'm really excited for that. But this is also, I mentioned a few scenes that we see in the trailer and they kind of break it up over the whole trailer. But when you go back and you put all of them together, we'll start with Bix and Cassian. There's a scene with Brasso where it looks like Brasso is being detained by some stormtroopers. And they're in this like yellowy field with high flowy grass or whatever. And then Bix runs up to Cassian and they like hug and they're all scared. What is happening?
That's gotta be Dantooine, right?
I don't know. I saw a few. I know that he mentioned some sort of moon at the end of season 1 that he wanted Bix and Brasso to go to. I am assuming that it's that. I don't think it's Lethal. As much as I want it to be Lethal and everybody's talking about it, it's definitely not.
No, I don't think it's Lethal.
Dantooine could be interesting because there's a rebel hideout there.
I also was wondering if this is the same planet that we see the scenes where it looks like Cassian. Where's my thing? I lost. Oh yeah, it looks like Cassian steals a TIE Avenger and like blows up an Imperial transport.
Is that what it's called, the TIE Avenger?
Yes.
Oh my god! I thought it was a TIE
Interceptor.
Interceptor.
So excited for the sequence.
Am I stupid?
It's not an interceptor. I thought
it was like a prototype.
It looks different than
that is a TIE. What? I've never seen this before.
Get with it, Logan.
What is this? What is this from?
Flabbergasted right now.
What is this from?
Right?
Am I stupid?
I don't remember what it's from. I've seen it somewhere before.
TIE Avenger.
But I wonder if that's the same planet or if it's a different planet. Because it...
I don't know, but I remember that sequence in the
It costs
trailer.
400,000 credits.
It has me so hyped.
400. Yes, it has me so hype. Because
400,000
It's
credits.
like fighter flight from Rebels.
It's on Cassian's face, and then it like tilts and turns to go to his hand on the trigger, and then that's just like
hearing the TIE fighter lock on sound too was the perfect way to jump into it.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
Wow. I want to do like a shot by shot analysis.
So good, but it's so true. Like,
yeah, just title this episode so
great.
Good.
So good.
Andor looks so good.
I want to talk about Bix Kayleen, obviously. What do I want to talk about? I was going to talk about something.
You forgot.
Get back to me. Well. Yeah, go ahead.
The other big, a lot of these were just me being excited for stuff like, oh my god, Evil Krennic and his little Death Star project. Oh my god, Saw Gerrera. The other big bullet point that I had was hype for some practical sets, because a lot of it looks very practical, which I am pretty sure that the first season had a lot of practical sets as well. And
it was
I
incredibly
just think
practical.
It looks so much better to me than non-practical sets. Like, I just think practical sets in general are like the heart of Star Wars, because I mean, look at the original trilogy. Like, it adds to the magic, and especially with the technology nowadays, when you do when you do a practical set, I think it just makes it so much more magical. Like, it is a pillar of classic Star Wars, so I love that Andor uses as much practical sets as they can.
And I love that we're seeing that stuff with Imperial locations specifically.
Yes.
I always felt like the Empire was very more imposing when it looks more grounded and stuff. And I think like one of my favorite things about Rogue One is just that we're getting like the modern vision of what Star Wars should be compared to like how it was in the 70s and stuff. I don't know if that makes sense.
I know what you mean.
I think it's really cool to like have that, like, not to Cobalt on here, but like have like the cohesive universe of it. Not to Doug Chang. Have like the cohesive universe of it. I think we're getting some more scenes of like the ISB with Cassian, right? I think that's what we saw in the shot.
There were some shots of Daedra and Cyril Karn.
Queen.
So I'm really curious to what their dynamic is going to be, and if they're maybe going to work together after Mr. Stalker was like, hey, let me do this, please.
I remember somebody tweeted
Cobalt,
that they should have...
listening to this, we appreciate you.
No, Cobalt is awesome. Yeah. I think Cobalt's awesome. I always love their stuff.
It's all jokes.
Yeah. Somebody tweeted about how Cyril and Dedra should have a like love-hate relationship, and I remember saying that I just want Cyril to love her and Dedra to hate him. I think that's the only way that their dynamic should work.
That's the only way. That's the only way. But I think it will be very
That's all he is.
I'm also curious to see if Cyril, however you say it. Cyril.
Yeah. Jinx.
I wonder if his like stance on everything will change at all.
Oh, that'll be really interesting to see.
After what has happened to him,
that could be interesting.
Because I think his character is very much someone that is conformist because of ignorance. You know?
Yes, that's what I think too.
Absolutely.
I think he thinks that he's doing the right thing because he doesn't know otherwise, and I think it'd be interesting if some character that's part of like our good guys gets to him and like is able to open his eyes up to like the travesties of what the Empire does. Or I hope something happens. Not I hope something happens to his mother. But it'd be interesting to see if like something does happen to his mother. I don't know how it would happen. How if like, you know, like the whole thing. In the trailer too. Yes, love her. It'd be interesting to see if maybe if Cyril has something happen to him, if that opens his eyes, and you know there's a whole like thing there about how you don't really care unless it's like at your front door and stuff,
right?
So I think there's like a lot of potential for his character to grow. I think I'd be satisfied either way. I think I'd be satisfied if he bit the dust or if he pulled a
I'm the spy.
Yeah, or if he pulled an I'm the spy, or whatever his name is. Oh my god, what's his name from Rebels? Callus.
Oh yes, Callus. Yeah. That would be better.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I think that kind of leads me into like my favorite part with Andor and what I'm most excited about, especially with this season. Something that I love about Andor is how it really dives into the politics of the original trilogy. Not so much like the action per se, but politically and thematically, I think is where it really shines. Because the show is so grounded, you know, and so well written. I think that especially now, we need a show like Andor.
Yeah.
And I think that season 2 of Andor is going to hit exponentially harder and be even more important. Like, look, I'm not saying that the shows like, you know, The Mandalorian and like Book of Boba Fett don't have like thematically interesting things and even in some cases politically some interesting things to say from time to time. But that's not really the focus of those shows. Those shows are more pulpy Star Wars. I feel like this at its core is focused on the themes of what really Star Wars is about. Yeah. Whenever people say Star Wars isn't political, it has always been political and it always will be political. As a matter of fact, there was a tweet that Star Wars themselves did many years ago to where they replied to one of those tweets that was like, keep the politics out of Star Wars. And they said back, Star Wars is literally our name.
I remember that.
And that's what they said. And they were like, that's in our name. So as iconic as a tweet as that is, it's so true. And I'm so excited to see how they build on everything that was established in season 1 and build even more towards like the original trilogy. My friend said this the other day on the phone. Carson, shout out to you if you're listening. My friend Carson was like, dude, what if like the action that they showed in the Andor trailer was like pretty much all of the action that you're going to get in season 2 aside from like one big thing that like they're not going to show. And so it's more talking and like building up to like the action that you see in Rogue One because that's like the big event, you know? And I was like, oh my God, like that's brilliant. Like that's so smart because like you have like the stuff on Ferrix in season 1. We're obviously going to probably get something bigger and more tied with the rebellion that now actually exists in season 2. And then in Rogue One, it's like almost like a perfect cap to that to where you have this big inciting event that leads directly into the main saga. So what's cool about it is like Andor has its own saga within a saga. And I think that's just
Saga
so I'm
Rara.
so excited for
Saga Rara.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
If you can't tell, I was like zoning out for a bit.
I just love anything surrounding the original movie's timeline.
Sorry.
Your voice
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
So
Hannah's always trying to have serious conversations, and we're just goofing off.
I'm so sorry, Hannah.
I'm getting into something.
Hannah, I just got one thing to say back to that. You want to build a Death Star? You want to build a Death Star,
mate? You've been talking to the cops, have you, mate?
But I just love everything surrounding the original movie's timeline, like before and after. That's my favorite era of Star Wars. The other thing is that I'm excited to see Cassian and K2SO's relationship form because I just love their dynamic in Rogue One, or like the Cassian said I had to. Like that's just, I love K2SO. He's one of my favorite droids.
I have a theory. about K2SO actually. And I said this a while ago, but I'm putting it out there on the podcast so more people can hear it now. So, my theory is like you have B2 Emo, right? He was like his droid, very much tied personally to Cassian. K2SO is a reprogrammed security droid. What if the reason why he acts the way he is in Rogue One is because B2 Emo, something happens to him, and Cassian transfers his personality and K2 into K2SO and makes K2SO who he is in Rogue One. And that's also why he cares so much for him in Rogue One. And why it's such a blood Cassian whenever he dies.
I didn't even think about that.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like,
I like
theory.
I didn't even like
a gut punch.
A lot, but I like it.
That would hurt a lot. I hadn't even considered that. I think
like
B2 Emo wasn't even in the trailer.
No, he wasn't.
Not scary. Don't
Where
like that.
Where is he? My Shayla.
Is he safe? Is he all
My
right?
Shayla.
Who do we think
Where
is on the
is
chopping block
Team
this
Emo?
season? I would like to know.
I need to do that. I need to post that.
Yeah.
Who's on the chopping block?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I
No.
think Binks is.
No, don't even say that. Why would you say that?
I don't want to say it, but I
don't
Dude,
wanna
they
say
can't
it, but
kill.
Joel.
They
It is a
can't
very
kill
high
Bix.
possibility. It is a very high
Oh
possibility.
my god.
Let's be real.
It's okay, Logan. Worst case scenario, she'll just go to sleep and find a special farm in the sky.
Every time, like, I forget that Bix is like. Sorry,
Hannah
I
works
love.
in barns. She can visit Bix.
I think that she is like one of the like most beautiful women in Star Wars. I keep forgetting that she.
Yeah, it is.
Because I'm such a Drash guy right now because of Sophie Thatcher. Whenever Bix is on screen, I full attention, dude. I'm so sorry. I love her so much. I hope that she
Somehow
gets
I
to
did
kill
not
someone.
Logan
realize-
is a simp.
Dude, have you guys met me? Are you kidding me? I love Star Wars, and I love women in
Logan
Star
said,
Wars.
"Do you know who I am?"
Do you know who I am?
No, It's funny you said you brought up Sophie Thatcher as Drash. For some
Yeah.
reason, my brain had not connected the dots. I totally
my
forgot
God.
that she was in Star Wars.
Dude.
So my
Okay.
friend today on the phone was like, yeah, Sophie Thatcher in Star Wars. And I was like, what are you talking about?
We had a
Like,
whole conversation about
was
this
she-
the other day.
Listen, I forgore, okay?
I think it's so
forgot.
funny.
I was too
Have you
busy
guys seen,
thinking about the Andor trailer.
When Companion was coming out and like articles were coming out about it, like in the Star Wars area, they started off with the Book of Boba Fett stars Sophie Thatcher stars in the new Companion, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
That's funny.
That's
Star
so funny.
Boba Fett. Anyways, I
Hannah,
feel
how
like-
many bullet points do you have left in
Yeah.
your thing?
I basically
Sorry,
got
Logan.
through
I
all.
didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay. Your turn.
I hit like the main ones for my main points because the rest of them were just funny things like what's Luthen cooking up or evil critic time. Oh,
Very
I
professional.
missed one. I did miss one. Okay, the scene in the trailer where the X-wings are taking off and it looks like they're on Yavin 4. If you go back, it looks like something just went down because there's a guy like
If you look
blasted
really
way
closely,
up.
if
Yeah.
you look really, really closely at it,
There's
there's
a
a dead
guy on the
body right in the
ground.
center of the screen.
there's like a rebel on the ground, like out. So like something happened. But I
thumbnail-
also noticed that the X-wings that are taking off, they aren't just basic painted X-wings. They're like customized painted ones, and it kind of made me think of Poe's X-wing.
Well, they're actually
So-
they're
Ooh, okay.
painted black, right? So I think that those are Saw
Well, they have-
Gerrera's X-wings
Ooh, that would make sense.
because his partisans are the
Oh!
Black Starfighters.
Yeah, because they do have. I mean, they're
I
not like
think that that's
bright
what it
black, but
is.
They had little black like blocks on them.
Yeah, I will
Or at
be
least
looking at this
blended.
tweet because I remember that I had a tweet that
Right.
was like, oh yeah,
If you
yeah,
look
That makes
at
so
the
much
very
sense.
bottom
oh,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
frame.
These are Saw Gerrera's X-wings.
Yes. Okay. Well, then that is maybe what
Ah.
happened because there was a guy like blasted on the ground, and I was like, "What happened?"
Yeah,
That's also
I am.
probably gonna dive into the fact into Rogue One whenever they're like calling
Yeah.
him like
Oh my
extremists
god!
and stuff. Like
You're
we've
I didn't
seen
even
it
consider that.
before,
Yeah.
Oh my god!
but like it's like that's why he's not even really associated.
I
with
would
them
love to see
anymore, 'cause
Saw
something
like a
happens.
part of the rebellion, like because the rebellion isn't even like really
Mm.
formed yet by the time like in Andor season 1,
Yeah,
and I think it'd be really cool if we got to see a bit of like Saw with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
it's
be
literally yeah,
really
it's
awesome.
Saw Gerrera's X-wing, like his partisan
Okay,
fighters
it is
and
Saw
stuff.
Gerrera's.
So that'll be really interesting then.
I did notice that they just weren't.
I'm excited.
Yeah, because my friend Fiona posted it, and she said, "Obsessed with
Okay.
this shot. Who is that? I'm scared. Who is that?" And I said, "It's me." After this trailer dropped,
Mhm.
because that was I
I,
think that
um,
broke the internet for Star Wars Twitter. I can't even lie.
Oh,
I do want to say, as excited as we are about Andor season 2 and Revenge of the Sith, I don't want to end the Andor conversation just yet because I feel
Then
like we all
don't.
have so much that we could say. But like, I would feel so bad if I didn't mention this
Okay,
because I am so excited about this.
I'm scared.
You
Go
know,
ahead.
we have the original trilogy stuff with Andor and the trailer for that, and Revenge of the Sith with the prequels, to where we're getting a big 20th anniversary re-release,
Mhm.
I know what.
and we
Jacob's
are
gonna say.
finally,
Oh, boy.
long have I waited.
Oh, God.
We are getting the Rise of Skywalker comic book adaptation this week.
Oh,
I am so excited that it's
Yay!
finally happening, and
I had no idea
I
where he was
cannot
going
wait to
with
read it.
that.
As a matter of fact, I went to my local comic book store to try to get it early. I'm not gonna dox them or say anything, but like I wanted to go to them early to try to like see if they had it today instead of tomorrow, because it's supposed to drop on Wednesday and we're recording it on Wednesday. Exactly, Logan. Exactly. Aggressive negotiations. But like I went, unfortunately they didn't have it, but I'm gonna go back tomorrow to see if they have it, and I'm very excited to read it, because we've gotten some really cool panels in that comic that kind of build on the movie, and there's some cool things that we haven't seen. Like there's that one panel of like Palpatine being like worked on by like the cultists. Ooh. Which I thought was like really sick. So I'm excited to see that, and I just got done reading the 2020 Darth Vader run of comics, which I think those are so good, and it dives into like Exegol and stuff in those comics, so I'm excited to reread or I guess revisit the Rise of Skywalker in the comic adaptation this week. I'm really looking forward to that. So it's really been a big week for Star Wars this week.
It is incredible. We are so back.
In comics, in books, in
they got me right back.
Shows,
and it's
movies.
We're recording this on a Tuesday. It's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
What if they drop something tomorrow?
Oh
or on
my
Thursday?
God.
What are
We're gonna have to record another podcast.
Oh God, what a shame.
Oh man, crazy. Episode 7. It'll become a habit after episode 7, right? That was the whole shtick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I guess to kind of close things out, because we're kind of reaching that point, because we've been talking for like an hour and some change. Do you guys have any closing thoughts on really anything?
I am very excited for everything that we have to look forward to this year.
Me too.
You know, it's yeah, we got some good stuff to look. I don't know why I'm saying it in this tone. I'm really excited for everything, and I think it's gonna be great. It's always a good time to be a Star Wars fan. I will be trying to like watch as much as I can and consume as much as I can, so that I can be caught up with the thing by when Andor comes around.
Oh, so that would be perfect.
I think that'll be really good. I'm gonna try to do that.
Timing. What the heck?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to binge more Bad Batch right after this.
Oh yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, thank you.
You got this.
Okay.
Like
Hannah, what about you?
I was pretty much gonna say the same thing. I'm really excited. I'm super hyped for everything that's coming, especially Andor. The show is so good.
It has like I have friends that aren't into Star Wars that were like Andor is like one of my, like favorite shows I watch. I was like, dude.
One of my really good friends, he's actually in school for politics, I guess, over in the UK. And I finally got him to watch Andor because he was like, Hannah, I just can't get into Andor, but I feel like I'd like it because of what people say the tones are, but I couldn't get past the first 3 episodes. And I was like, just hang in there. Like
literally, yeah.
The first 3 episodes are a little slow, I will say that, but like I feel like they showcase necessary stuff for later.
Because you literally get Aldani right after.
Yeah, but now that he has watched it all, he was like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad I watched it. It's one of his favorite shows now."
That's so cool. Is your friend also? You said he's in the UK, right?
Yes.
So does he like call you up and he's like, "You want to build a desktop, mate?"
He's Australian. Ben Mendelsohn's Australian. You
oh no! I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Shout out Tyler. He's actually Irish, but he's in school in the UK.
Listen, I just associate British accents with the Empire. Okay?
I feel like you shouldn't.
Gosh.
Like Tarkin was British.
Yeah.
Well,
and then like any Imperial
name another Imperial officer. I dare you.
Well,
you're a fan of the Empire. Name 5 officers.
They are.
Name 5 officers with
so the
British
accent fits.
All right, Jacob, bring it home for us.
Yeah,
all right, I'm gonna recover from that fumble. I guess this is my campaign. I am begging for all of us to meet at the Andor premiere. Star Wars, if you're
Yes.
listening, please make it happen.
Please.
We will do anything.
Star Wars, if you're listening, and we know that you
Please.
are. My dad's birthday is April 21st, so I'm assuming that you're doing something for the Andor season premiere. So if you want to like hit me up and let me take my dad out to the premiere for his birthday, I think that'd be really good. Just have to say that.
Dude,
Dude, I'm just
and you know,
I'm
maybe a
just
couple friends.
Sure, I mean them too, I guess.
all I'm saying is that a picture of all four of us, Hunter included, we can't
That would
forget
go
him,
hard.
wherever he is. A picture of us four at the Andor premiere, I think would be ridiculously
Fantastic.
I know the exact outfit I would wear too. Just
I
call me
don't.
up.
cool. Yeah, I'm wearing cargo shorts, flip flops, and an Andor t-shirt.
Oh
I'm
my
just
God.
kidding. I would not wear that.
I'm bringing
Absolutely
my
not.
Elmo
Hey,
and Barney
Jason
saber.
Kelsey.
Anyway, no, I have a fit. I have a plan.
You said the
if I ever
Elmo
get
Barney
invited to a
saber?
premiere.
Yeah, I did. It took,
you got
took
rid
like
of it.
10 seconds to realize I said that.
I just
did.
realized it. We need
Audio
to, I'm gonna
processing. ADHD over here.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I forgot about the Elmo. What was it?
Gone but
The
never
Elmo Barney
forgotten. The
lightsaber.
Elmo Barney saber.
I did not. I actually thought
That's
of it
the one.
yesterday because I was wearing red and my hair is purple. And I was like, oh my god, Elmo Barney moment.
I can't believe that my trauma
We
is
need
being
to-
immortalized into this.
I'm gonna rename the text chat that we have whenever we go to record new episodes or
Barney
like talk
Elmo
about
saber.
stuff. I'm gonna rename it Elmo Barney.
Yeah. All right, Jacob, quit stalling. Kick us out of
That's
here.
funny. All right. To round things out, thank you guys so much for listening so much as always, whether you're listening on Spotify or you're watching and listening on YouTube. Either way, we appreciate you listening and giving us your support. If you would like to become a channel member, you can click the link down next to the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to become a channel member, I think I already just said that, so this is getting out of hand. There are two of them. That all being said, before I repeat something else for the final time, thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate it. Please invite us to the Andor Season 2 premiere. And
Yes.
until the next episode, may the Force be with you.
Yeah.